everyone, welcome to another episode of Meyer Eats. Today we are celebrating the fact that some of our chickens are starting to lay again. Yay! So one thing that I really like to make when I start to get eggs again is egg bread. It's super easy, really delicious, and a fun recipe to make. To make this recipe, you need some ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry. You're going to need about 4 to 4.5 cups of bread flour, and I usually end up using about 4 1/4, it's a sunny day. I usually end up using about 4 1/4 cups of my bread flour. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 2 teaspoons of table salt, which I've put into here. You're also going to need a 1/2 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of milk, which I've put into this container right here. And you're also going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, which I've put in that container as well. We're going to talk about the reason for that in a minute. You're also going to need 3 eggs that are lightly beaten, so I've done that over here. And you're also going to need an additional egg yolk that you're going to use for your egg wash, so that's what's in here. And you can mix that egg yolk with about a teaspoon of milk or water to make your egg wash. Lastly, you're going to need your yeast, so I'm using 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients. So we're going to mix our flour and our sugar and our salt and our yeast. We're going to put that all together in the bowl of our mixer. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that milk, butter, water mixture, and we're going to heat it till it's about 120 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. You can do this in a saucepan, or if you're in a hurry, you can actually microwave it if you have a microwave safe container, and you want to get it to around that 120, 130 degree Fahrenheit temperature. You don't want to get too hot because then you could hurt your yeast if you have too hot liquid in there. But you're just going to warm that up. You don't have to worry if your butter doesn't completely melt. We just want to warm it up just a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get my mixer and let's get started mixing this up. All right, so we've got our flour and all of our dry ingredients all mixed together. Now we're going to slowly drizzle in that milk water mixture with the melted butter. All right, now we're gonna keep mixing and we're gonna slowly add in our eggs, our whisked eggs. We have 3 of them, so we're gonna try to do kind of one at a time if you can, or just separate your mixture into thirds. And then we're going to mix this until our dough is well incorporated. All right, and here's what our dough looks like, all mixed up and really well kneaded. You want to continue to mix your dough for about 5 to 8 minutes until it's smooth like we have here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover this and we're going to let it rise for about an hour until it's doubled in size. So our dough has been sitting for about an hour and here's what it looks like. Oh, it's definitely doubled in size here. Oh, it's so big. There you go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to split this up into 3 pieces and we're actually going to give it a little bit of a braid. So we're going to take these pieces and we're going to kind of roll them out till they're about 15 or so inches long. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you notice it kind of like springs back like that and it's not staying the shape you want, you can form it, let it rest for a few minutes and then come back. Let those glutens kind of relax a bit. If you notice your dough is a little sticky while you're trying to form your logs, go ahead and put some flour down while you're doing this. There you go. And we're just going to give it a quick braid. So I'm going to pinch these 3 pieces together up here. Really pinch them so it stays. And we'll just braid this. tuck those ends in. Stretch this out a little bit so it's form it a little bit. There we go. Oh, I think that looks great. We're gonna go ahead and put this back and let it rise for about 30-35 minutes. Oh my goodness, after that second rise, our bread really expanded and it looks amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use that egg yolk that we talked about in the beginning, mixed with a little bit of milk or water. I'm gonna give this a good egg wash and then we're gonna bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. I can't wait to see this all baked up. And here's what our egg bread looks like, all baked. This looks amazing. I cannot wait to enjoy this. Let us know in the comments below if you decide to make your own egg bread. We've left the recipe in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.